Hello, this video is to show you how to use the personalized rag sheet. These have been set up in order to allow you to review the questions that you got right, the questions that you got wrong, and those that you got partial marks on from your last half-term test. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is find out how to access your data. So first thing you need to do is select the correct class from the first drop down here. So we're going to stick with 7:1. Then we need to select your name. Now this data has been anonymized, but obviously this will have all the correct names for each class. So we're going to find the Hulk data. So we click on the Hulk, and as you can see, there's still nothing appears in this column because we've yet to enter the correct password. So you will enter your MathsWatch password. I'm just going to enter the password for the Hulk. And on the left hand side now, this data should get filled in. The data will either be red, amber or green. So red if you got 0 marks for a question, amber if you got partial marks, so for example in this case 2 out of 3, and green would be for fully correct answers. And then if we scroll down, we can also see the total marks that was achieved, the your average, and also the class average there. So now that you've accessed your data, the next thing to do will be to look at some of the questions that you got wrong and maybe look to do some corrections, do some little revisions, some extra work to see that you hopefully next time if a similar question came up you would know how to answer it. So if we're going to scroll down to the bottom here and we're going to look at this question, so question 22a, I can use angle facts to solve geometry problems. So there's a few things we've got here. If we click on, first of all, if we click on the question number, that takes us to this screen here, and this gives us quite a lot of information about the question. The first thing it gives us is the question itself, so that was the question in your test. Then we have the mark scheme here, and this particular mark scheme's got 2 methods, which is not uncommon on 3, 4, 5 mark questions. Don't let that confuse you. I personally think probably method A is the easiest method to understand, but there might be, the second one might be better for you. But it's saying that if they work out the sum of the reflex angles at the vertices of the regular pentagon, well, the first thing is the vertice is the corner. We have to know that. The reflex angle is going to be this big angle. And if we know that the angles at a point add up to 360, we can see here from the first mark on our mark scheme that you will need to work out 252. So if this angle is 108, then this angle here is 252. The next reason you would get a mark is for knowing that if you want to work out the sum, so the sum means to add up, we need to add up all those 5 angles here, or times by 5, which is what it tells you to do. So 252 times 5. And the last mark would be for getting the correct answer of 1260. There is also here basically that method I've just said, so an example of how you will get 4 marks. So that's kind of a good worked example. And then there's also some notes here from the examiner. So when this was sat, the person who marked this and set the question gave some guidance as to what you should be looking for and what you should be doing. So this gives you lots of information about the question. If you click return to main screen, it will take you back down here. And then the other thing you can do is have a look at a video clip. So if we click on this clip comes up, and this is all about angles at a point. So these are Corbett Maths videos, so you could watch that video. And there are also then some questions as well, which if you click on that you get some questions. Now these questions won't necessarily directly relate to that exact question you had, but it's the same principle. It's the idea that we're looking for, this idea of 360 degrees and subtracting and things like that. You can also access the video. If you click here, you can access the video straight from this question sheet, and if we scroll down you can also access the answers as well. Clicking there will give you the answers.